It's week 7. The NFL has started making trades. So, what better time for you to get in on the action and start making some moves in your Dynasty League? I'm going to walk you through 6 players, 3 buys, 3 sells, talking through the reasons, the prices, and the types of trades you should be making. Let's kick it off at the top. Kenneth Walker. Now, Kenneth Walker's not really got going since he's come back from injury. The underlying numbers are incredibly impressive, but the Seahawks haven't been running the ball enough for him to put up those superstar numbers. However, his receiving usage has been phenomenal over the last 2 weeks. 16 targets in the last 2 weeks. The fact that he is being utilized in that area of the field, that raises the ceiling significantly. We know that the rushing upside is there. Now he's getting involved in the passing game. The ceiling increases significantly. And I am super excited about what Kenneth Walker could be down the stretch. This offense is there. Ryan Grubb's kind of getting it going. It's just not fully firing. I think Kenneth Walker is a great player to go and buy right now. I'd pay a first and a second round pick to go and acquire him. Looking at DLF and Keep Trade Cut, I don't think you have to pay quite that much. And maybe people are sort of starting to get a little bit frustrated with the lack of rushing opportunity that the Seahawks are putting out. I think that's going to regress. I think that Kenneth Walker, go and buy now because he could be a fantastic player to have in your roster down the stretch. Going to the other side of the fence, though, time to get a little bit negative. Wan'Dale Robinson. Now, Wan'Dale Robinson is a PPR scam. He's doing fantastic stuff right now because he is seeing obscene target volumes. But the problem is that the ADOT is so low. We're talking about 4 or 5 yards downfield on a game-to-game basis that he's just not putting up the fantasy points to go with it. He's averaging 1.36 fantasy points per target. That's pathetic. Plus, you add in the fact we're probably going to see a new QB, maybe even a new offense next year. I think this is a great opportunity to get out on Wan'Dale Robinson because I don't think there is a great fantasy ceiling there. Yes, he is relying on the volume at the moment. As soon as that volume ticks down, as soon as something happens, his fantasy value disappears out the window. So if you can get a second round pick, I think that's a great point to go and buy. If you can pivot to another player that's perhaps got a little bit higher ceiling, absolutely go and do that. But I just feel like Wan'Dale Robinson, he's one of those players that this is probably your sell window right now. The next guy I want to talk about, though, Jaylen Warren. Now, I consistently see this with people coming back from injuries. We see them get on the field, they have a slow or a bad first week back, and people are like, no, he's not going to get it done. It creates a little buy window. He was eased back in this last week. We saw Najee go off. He had the big explosive run. It's the best Najee Harris has looked all week. But I still believe that Jaylen Warren is the back to own in this offense. I still think he's going to see the high value touches in the passing game. He's going to split carries in and around the red zone. And I think that Jaylen Warren's fantasy ceiling is so much higher than any other back in this offense. Plus, we should potentially see check down king Russell Wilson, who has checked the ball down more than any quarterback over the last 3 years, coming in. This could be huge for Jaylen Warren. I think you can pounce now for as little as a kind of early to mid second round pick, and maybe even pivot off someone like a Wan'Dale Robinson to go out and get Jaylen Warren. I think it's a sensible move to go and buy Jaylen Warren now because I think down the stretch he could be a really solid RB2 for your Dynasty team. Before we get on to the next 3 players, though, if you're here, you've made it this far, you haven't hit the subscribe button, what are you doing? We've got so much content coming your ways, week in, week out, helping you win those leagues. So hit the subscribe button and you won't miss out on any of it. The next sell, though, Bo Nix. Now, this is less about fantasy production, less about what he's doing in terms of raw numbers, advanced numbers. This is purely eye test. I just think that Bo Nix hasn't got it. He's coming in as the most experienced quarterback we have ever seen. He's just making basic processing errors. He's missing open throws. He's not progressing through his reads. Yes, for fantasy, he's kind of getting there on the rushing production alone. But I just feel like this is almost Justin Fields 2.0 without that incredible ceiling that Justin Fields had. Bo Nix, to me, feels like this is a guy we're going to go into next year. He's going to be the starter in 2025, but we're already going to be talking about what are the Broncos are going to be doing to replacing him, certainly. I just don't see him as a long-term star. I was shocked when the Broncos took him in the first round, and he's playing exactly how I expected it. So if you can get a 2025 first, a couple of our members made that exact same trade yesterday when I was talking about this in Discord. I would go and make that move right now. I think any first round pick for Bo Nix is a sensible move, because I just feel like the rug could get pulled at any point. The next guy I'm targeting, this is a little bit under the radar. We're digging a little bit deeper here. Theo Johnson. Now, he's not done it from a fantasy perspective as of yet, but we know that the tight end position is notoriously slow to produce. We know that it takes them a little bit of time to acclimatise to the NFL. But Theo Johnson is an every snap player already. He is running ahead of Daniel Bellinger and the host of names in that tight end room. We know that he's an athletic freak, one of the most athletic players we have ever seen in the NFL. Plus, there's a potential, the opposite of what I was saying about Wan'Dale Robinson. There could be a new QB, there could be a new offensive coordinator or play caller in this offense. Plus, we've still got that potential rookie bump as we head towards the end of the season. You can go and buy him for a late third round pick based on keep trade cut values. I think that's an easy smash. This is a guy that probably no one's even paying attention to. He's probably sat on a lot of people's taxi squads, things like that. Go and bounce now, because the fact he's playing every snap, I think there's more to come. And I think that he could be one of these sneaky breakout guys, either second half of this season or certainly early next year. I think Theo Johnson could be a name on a lot of people's lips as we move towards that. Now it's time to get a little bit spicy. Sam LaPorta. Yes, he's disappointed you all year. I was banging on all off season that he wasn't the tight end one, and he's struggling. But the issue is there are too many mouths to feed in this offense. Once you've got David Montgomery his carries, once you've got Jamar Gibbs his carries, once you've got a couple of explosive design touches for Jameson Williams, of course Amon-Ra Brown's going to eat. There's just not enough food around for Sam LaPorta to eat as well. Last year he was over a 20% target share. This year he is down at 10.1%. Now, hopefully, the people you're trading with haven't watched the game, aren't looking at the advanced numbers, and they just see Sam LaPorta had a big touchdown on Sunday. Sam LaPorta's back. Now's the time to get out, because I think it's only going one way for Sam LaPorta. If you can get a mid-2025 first, which is what his trade value is on Keep Trade Cut and DLF, I think that's an absolute smash right now. So, yeah, this could be your opportunity to get on Sam LaPorta before the price continues to decline. Is there anyone you disagree with? Anyone I've missed? Let me know in the comments below. Of course, hit that like and subscribe, and we'll be back very soon with some more fantasy and dynasty related content.